Hi there, so this is my science standard explanation. The 2015 South Dakota Science Standards were written by a committee of 31 people. This committee included elementary through high school teachers, professionals, professors, scientists, and administrators throughout the state of South Dakota. Now, the reason why these standards were updated was to reflect the most recent research in science and teaching and learning. When these standards were updated, the three dimensions were added. These three dimensions are science and engineering practices, disciplinary core ideas, and cross-cutting concepts. Now, the reason why these three dimensions were added was so that once the students master these dimensions, South Dakota would be competitive with some of the other best educational systems in other states as well as nations. The standard that I was assigned was Middle School Physical Science 1-2. Now, the standard states that students will be able to analyze and interpret data on the properties of substances before and after the substances interact to determine if a chemical reaction has occurred. So after teaching the students the standard, they will be able to understand the properties of different substances and be able to compare those properties from one substance to the next, as well as identifying if a chemical reaction has occurred by, again, analyzing those different properties. So within the standard, the science and engineering practice is number 8, which is obtaining, evaluating, and communicating information. So what this is meaning is that students will be obtaining and evaluating information through their experiment, as well as communicating the results by stating whether or not the chemical reaction had occurred. The cross-cutting concept of the standard is patterns. So the students are realizing different patterns that happen once chemical reactions occur. The disciplinary core idea, which is also evidence statement, is Physical Science 1A, which is a structure of matter, and what that means is the students will be able to develop models that will describe different substances' composition. They will also be able to analyze the physical and chemical properties of each one of those substances. Now, Physical Science 1-B is chemical reactions. So what this means is the students will be able to analyze the before and after of a substance before it interacts with another substance and determine whether a chemical reaction has taken place. And then also be able to identify what that change has an impact on the world. So the lesson plan that I found was called Catalyst Lab or Elephant Toothpaste. So in this lab, students create a chemical reaction by decomposing hydrogen peroxide. The result is a foamy, soapy toothpaste-like substance. This lesson teaches the standard by allowing the students to know the substance properties before the chemical reaction as well as after the reaction has occurred. The students get to conduct the experiment themselves, which helps to understand the different processes that happen when a chemical reaction occurs, as well as understanding that even though the physical state may change, the matter and energy is conserved when that chemical reaction happens. So thank you for following along through my presentation.